Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here and welcome to Michigan First Mortgage Home Buyer Seminar. So we're very glad that you're here today. So we hope you have your sandwich and your cup of coffee or whatever your preferred drink is. And we just welcome you here and we're excited to get into today's topic. I'm Tom Regan. I'm the West Side Mortgage Manager for Michigan First. And I'm filling in for Dan Sugg, who is our Chief Lending Officer in the mortgage company. He's out today, but we'll be back next time around. So bear with me today. But we're so excited to have you here. We're going to be talking about single family homes and condos and what the differences are. And stick with us. I mean, sometimes that might seem like kind of a boring topic, but there's a lot of nuances with each one. And I think there's going to be some really good information here. So hopefully you walk away with a little bit more understanding of the differences. So we have a couple of different local experts here. The first one is Jim Brayton. I'm going to ask each of them to just maybe take a minute, introduce themselves, and tell us a little bit about themselves. So Jim is here. He's a loan officer for Michigan First. So Jim, take it away. You're on mute, buddy.
Sorry about that. I had us on mute. Apologize. Hello, everyone. Hope all is well with you. We are so glad that you are here today for our discussion between single-family resident homes and condos. It's going to be exciting. I hope you all learned some magnificent things today. I just want to say that I do believe I've been doing this for 27 years in this mortgage industry and working hard, help thousands of borrowers and members get into new homes. And I do believe that every lender has the ability to help and put the homeowner's goals in front of anything else that we do. So their experience is number one, rather than just looking at it as a paycheck. So I hope you guys learned something, and I certainly look forward to working with you. Thanks, Tom.
Well, I appreciate that, Jim. We're happy to have you on the call. And we also have Marissa Cotton from eXp Realty. So we're happy to have her along as well. She's a local expert on condos and real estate in general. So Marissa, just give us maybe a minute about who you are and what you do.
Thanks, Tom. I appreciate that warm welcome, and I am grateful for the opportunity to speak to everyone on this call. Jim and I have worked together for a little while now, and I actually have a closing tomorrow for a client on a condominium property. We both quickly realized that we had several commonalities, including the consideration for our clients, communication efforts, and full transparency. So I'm here today to offer my input as a real estate agent, possibly your next real estate agent, on the importance of having a realtor in this process, the benefits of buying a condominium versus a single family home, and what to look for. So thank you for taking the time to join us, and I appreciate this opportunity once again.
Right. Thank you, Marissa. Yeah, we're super excited to have you both here today. So thanks for joining the call. But let's just jump right into the meat of the subject. So Marissa, I think I might hand this off to you first. So first question, has to be, give us some of the differences between single family home and a condo.
So with the single family home, you're going to have to worry about your maintenance. That's one huge thing. That's a difference when dealing with the condominium versus single family. Yes, there are fees that are associated when you're dealing with the condominium. However, you usually have your outdoor maintenance taken care of. Even your indoor maintenance, when things break or fall apart, are taken care of. Whereas with the single family home, you're kind of on your own. There are more expenses associated with the fixing of a property. When you think about your roof or any damages that occur, those fixing of those are on the individual buyer. But with the condominium, those things are covered. And I think that Jim is also going to have some additional input on that. But there are a lot of things that we can save, and a lot of times where we could save on going with the condominium versus single family, especially that median price that we'll discuss a little bit later.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, hey, Jim, do you have anything you want to add into that?
Yeah, I think one of the key differences is that the owners of a house actually own that full house and the land it sits on. The contrast is the condo homeowners are responsible for their unit, but they share the exterior space with other condo owners along what's called like a common ground through the association where everybody can kind of go and meet and have that common ground. So you're owning your unit, but the whole project itself is owned by all the condo association owners. And there could be anywhere from, project through, 5 to 150, depending on what association you join. So I think that's the biggest key difference is owning your own property in your own house, other than just owning that building.
Got it. So it sounds like what you're saying is with the condo, anything on the inside of the home, the owner is responsible for. Anything on the outside of the home, be it the siding, the landscaping, the roof, that would fall onto the association.
Correct.
Versus with a single family home, the owner is responsible for everything. The maintenance, the upkeep, the outside altogether. Yep. Awesome.
Correct.
Well, thank you guys. So Marissa, I'm going to jump back to you. So one of the questions we had, do you think single family homes or condos, do they appreciate at the same rate? Or do you think one's a little bit ahead of another?
I would say that your single family home is gonna depreciate at a higher rate than a condo would. We know that with an HOA and with the coverage on a condominium that they take care of that maintenance on those properties as far as the exterior of the homes, and the upkeep stays up on behalf of the HOA. As where a single family home, if you don't take care of that home, then that value is going to depreciate.
100%. I think that's a great answer. But yeah, I mean, any way we look at it, we need to keep up our homes, right? I mean, the better you keep them up, the better you're going to be.
Right.
So, but Jim, I'm going to jump over to you a second. What on the financing side, what are some of the things that we need to be aware of when we're financing a condominium?
Oh, geez, on the financing side, we need to be looking at the difference between, if you're talking rate wise, Tom?
I mean, anything like, obviously the type of financing, the homeowners or the homeowners association fees.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, the mortgage rates are usually a little bit higher on a condominium due to the fact that part of the value is based on the whole project rather than just the single family home itself and the own of the property itself. So a lot of times when we go through the financing, we have to look at the homeowners association dues or any other fees that may be associated with that association. So the condos are a riskier, it makes it kind of riskier because the collateral could come down if part of the condo association, has some deterioration or has some kind of, needs work, or they have to go in and fix the roof. That kind of brings our value down a little bit. So our rates are basically about maybe between 1/4 to 3/4% higher because it's a riskier loan for a condo.
I agree. So it sounds like, I mean, we always need to be concerned with our neighborhoods, right? I mean, anytime we're looking at real estate, we want to have a good neighborhood, but with a condominium, sometimes it's, you're a little bit more tied legally to that neighborhood, into that project, and all of those values can affect each other. And, I know Marissa, you can probably talk about that too. And I kind of want to jump back, but there's not a right or wrong way between a condominium and a single family home. No. We're all different people. We're all at different seasons in life. And sometimes these things work, a condo works better than a single family home. But what are some of the reasons or some of the benefits in living in a condo versus a single family home?
Okay, so I would say the difference, like Jim has touched on, is the fact that you own the land that it sits on. However, we do have fees that are going to be associated with that homeowners association fee. However, let's also consider the fact of the upkeep of the outside of the property, which we've also touched on as far as with the single family home, that has to be done and on your own accord. But if we have damage with the outside bricks of the property, or the groundage outside of the home, or the yard upkeep, that is done within our the condominium association, and that are things that are covered, as well as I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and let me maybe clarify. Maybe I didn't ask the question the right way. So as far as the buyer of the home, the demographic, the type of person, are we looking at maybe single people, older people that want to get into a condo, a family with 8 children getting into a condo? I mean,
no, definitely. There is a key difference, whereas older individuals do like to move over to a condominium because that is less upkeep, that is less personal expenses that they have to come out of their pocket to make sure that the outside of their home is kept up. Whereas with paying this one HOA fee, everything is going to be covered under that guise. And we can understand where a larger family may prefer a single family home in that situation, just due to, having more individuals in that space, and also maybe wanting that outdoor space additionally. However, there is the benefit of not having to pay for those expenses out of pocket, rolling it into one HOA, and also the benefits that sometimes include a community pool that includes a community space for events to be held, pool tables, kitchens, things that are not offered with a single family home in certain subdivisions or neighborhoods.
Yeah, and I think, I tried to preface it by saying we're all different people, and some things work better for each of us. And, some of us are just different seasons in life. I mean, Marissa, you are very young. I'm on the opposite side of that. So, where a condo might work for me, it might not work well for somebody else, and single family home the same way. So again, there's not a right or wrong thing. It's just whatever works, best for each of us. So Jim, I want to jump back a second and just look at on the financing side. Obviously, we're here at the credit union wanting to provide financing. When we give a pre-approval, how is it different between a condo and a single family home?
Oh, geez, yeah. The property type, range of homes, max sale price. There's many different things that we look at when we look at the difference between a condo and a single family home. Your property on a single family home, you may qualify. Let's use an example of $400,000, and we price everything out. We do everything that we're supposed to do. We have an approval, and you're out looking for a home. And let's say you look at something around the 400,000. Well, you may only qualify for a $300,000 condominium because of where the association dues may be between, $295 to $595, which will definitely increase your payment, which will increase the odds of maybe your debt ratio and things that go into financing that make it approvable for you to own that. So there's special assessments that also could be associated with a condo that we may not know about, and the list agents and the sellers would know once we talk to the associations about those and get the documents to look and see what those could be. So those could also increase your payment per month, along with the standard principal and interest, taxes, insurance. So, I mean, there could be a difference of maybe 80,000 to 150,000 of buying power between a single family home and a condo, just based on those association dues and the difference of maybe special assessments that may be assessed to that property based on what the association may incur in, price differences or, fixing and things they may have to raise. Because sometimes association dues increase, maybe a set certain amount per year, and then you're continually paying that association due a higher payment each month. So with single family residents, you don't really have that. You don't have that. When we do the pre-approval for that, we don't have to worry about an association dues that are due on a single family resident. Does that make sense?
So yeah, let me jump in. So kind of what I'm hearing you say is that when we pre-approve somebody, It's based on the total payment.
Oh, the pot, yes,
We say, principal and interest, taxes and insurance. And with a condo, there's that additional homeowners insurance,
Yes,
the
sir.
fee, the dues that are there. So the difference between a single family home and a condo is going to be there's that additional homeowners insurance dues, which
Correct.
makes the payment go a little higher. So, a $300,000 pre-approval on a single family home might not equate to a $300,000 purchase on a condo.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw one interesting fact out there that I looked up too, that I was looking at, was to go along with what you're stating there, is the average existing condo was right around $371,000 as of June 23rd. And according to the data of the National Association of Realtors, a sizable difference in savings versus a 432,700 typical family home. So back to what you and I just said, to prove that point that we were backing up, you could be qualified for a $437,700 single family home, but may only be qualified for a $370,000 condo because of those association dues and the existing, assessments that may go along with that payment. Correct.
Correct. Yes.
Thought that was interesting.
So I'm just going to say to the people, the members who are out there, talk to your loan officer about what that approval encompasses. If you're looking for a single family home or if you're looking for a condo, talk to your loan officer to make sure that you're qualified for both.
Right.
And I would say to the real estate agent too, right? I mean, as you're out there looking for homes, if they're looking for single family homes, but you want a condo, I mean, they need to be aware so they know, what they should be helping you look for and what you want to find. So, I mean, Marissa, do you want to touch base on that at all? Because I'm sure you don't want to go on a wild goose chase as you're out there looking for homes, right?
Oh, definitely. Yes. Definitely. I'll touch base on that. Some things that we want to be aware of when we're looking for a condo are those fees, the cost of those fees, because it can range even within the same, set of condominiums. That fee can change, and that's based off of the size of the property, the cost of the property, and other factors. But also consider how often that fee may increase, and if it's annually, how much could it potentially increase by? Let's look at the history of what the fees were in the past 5 years into what it is now, so that you can consider that increase within the next 5 years when buying a condominium. Also, I would also look at the upkeep of the exterior of the property. When you look at the roof, when I had an inspection on this property that Jim and I are closing on tomorrow, the roof needs some work to it. So we made sure to inquire that with the condominium property in order to make sure that that's something that's going to be taken care of. It wasn't anything dire, but also just paying attention to everything that we're seeing. If there's any exterior yard work or if the ground is cracking, those are things that you want to pay attention to. And considering what amenities that they may offer as well. What is my usage to the gym? What can I do with the pool area? How can I enjoy the event space? Those are all things to consider when looking at a condominium and which one is going to be the best choice for you.
That's awesome. And those are all services that you give and that.
Yep.
Okay.
Tom, I'd like to add something here too.
Sure.
That's exactly why Marissa and I partner up, is because she does take care of those things when she looks at properties for our members and our clients. She makes sure all of that stuff is taken care of and relates it back to me. So the communication is huge in that area. So that way we know that our borrower is completely taken care of when we're showing them a house or when we're loaning them money to buy that house.
So Jim, let me ask you, I mean, we've talked about a lot about the homeowners association dues. Is that something that's included in their payment?
Oh, good call. I forgot. I was going to mention that too. That is not included in their payment when they make their monthly mortgage payment. Just the principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and MI if there happen to be there. But they are using that. We are using that homeowners association dues for qualifying to purchase the home. So even though you'll see it on your payment as a whole, It is not included in your actual mortgage payment that you pay to us.
Awesome. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yep.
And Marissa, I want to kind of jump back to the point that you were making also.
Mhm.
As we talk about a condo and all the maintenance that the condo association is doing, there needs to be a budget for that, right? So there's
Mhm.
money in the dues that you pay in, and there's a budget for that. And part of that is going to keep the maintenance up. So I know one of the things that we look at is we always want to see reserves in the condo in the budget. But I mean, and I'm sure that you do this, so I'm just kind of setting the question up for you. As you went around and you were looking at the home and say, hey, we think these buildings are going to need a new roof, but the money's not in the budget. I mean, that's probably something that you would offer as a service, correct?
Yes, it is. And as an agent personally, and I know that there's a lot of other great agents out there that take that extra step above and beyond. I go to all of my inspections with my inspector, whether the buyer is there or not. And I make sure I take in all of the information that we have and make sure that we are in communications, providing the inspection report to the condominium homeowners to, go over that with them and see, where we are with this. Okay, the roof was fixed this long ago. When is the next time we're going to get this roof fixed? Because we have a new homeowner that's moving in that's concerned and want to make sure that we stay on top of taking care of their property and making sure that they get to enjoy those amenities and making sure that the fees that they're paying go towards something.
So, and I'm just going to say to all of our listeners, what Marissa is saying is what you want in a real estate agent, because not all real estate agents do that, but I think the good ones do. So we appreciate that. And, the biggest reason why is we look at, you brought up if we need new roofs. Most of the condos were built in the same year. So if one roof is going bad on a building, usually the next building, the 3 buildings, the 4 buildings are going to need it as well. Right. So there might be $150,000 bill for those roofs. If there's no money in the budget, then that goes as a special assessment to each of the homeowners, the condo owners. And so you could see a $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 bill or assessment to fix the roofs at that point, or, reside the buildings. So it's a big deal. And so what Marissa is doing as a service for you is hugely important financially, because it could save you from a $25,000 bill down the road, because there's not enough money in the homeowners association budget to fix those things. So again, we appreciate you, Marissa.
No, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure.
So, we only have a couple of minutes left. We want to be time sensitive, but Marissa, let me ask, on the resale side, do you see much of a difference between reselling a condo versus reselling a single family home? Is there really a difference there?
I would say there is a difference, and that it's going to depend on how well the homeowners association is keeping up with those condominiums and the exterior of the property, how well the seller is keeping up with the interior of that property. The difference is that when you have a single family home, you have to keep up with that exterior and that interior on your own. If you don't make the proper upgrades and you've been in a home for 10 to 15 years and it's been the same ever since, is the value really going to go up? And that takes us right back to that entire depreciation consideration between a condo and a single family home, whether you're taking care of what you need to while you're in that home. At least with the condominium, we know that the outside, the exterior of the home is going to be taken care of, because they adhere to those guidelines that are set in stone when you have those association fees for the condominium. So I would say that there's a factor of appreciation that comes with condominiums and single family home, and that's going to be based on the current market at the time. But you have a better opportunity of increasing your property value at your condominium versus a single family home, especially if you do that interior upkeep to go along with the exterior within a condominium.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. So again, we're just kind of staying conscious of time. So yeah, thank you, Zareen. There's Marissa's information there. So we just want to be conscious of your time. Thank you for coming out today. I have to give a shameless plug in for Michigan First Insurance. It's part of the credit union, and we do more than just homeowners insurance. I mean, we have auto insurance, renter's insurance. I think they even have pet insurance.
I think so.
So it's a full service insurance agency. And if you like the service that you get from Michigan First, I mean, they are right here with us. They have the same values, the same core values as we do. So they're going to treat you just as well as we do. So thank you for that. So Zareen, help me out. Is there anything that I'm missing today, or as we kind of wrap things up? Oh, I'm sorry, here we go. So if you want to have any other questions or want to talk to either of the panel members today, we do have their information up on the screen. Thank you. We do with Michigan First Mortgage. Jim works for us over in the Okemos office, but we also have about 30 other lenders as well. So please reach out to us. If you have any other questions, reach out to Marissa. Very knowledgeable. Like I said, she's giving the service that a real professional real estate agent should be offering. So thank you both for being here today. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank
so
you,
again,
Tom.
oh, you're welcome. So again, we hope that you picked up a few tidbits and a little bit more information, or you have a better understanding of the differences between condos and single family homes. So again, we are here for whatever questions you may have. So Zareen, I'm going to ask, is there anything that I missed?
So on this slide, would love to have everyone take away, if anything they could take away from the call today are 3 things. So Jim, if you can share a little bit, if anything everyone on the
Sure.
call can take away when it regards to this topic or any topic on mortgage purchases. There's 3 on there. Jim, if you'd like to start off with.
Sure. What I would say is that there's pros and cons, obviously, to both of them, to the condo and the single family. You have to look at that and decide between yourself if you'll have more privacy and space with a single family home because of the fact that you own that property. You'll share common area with the other association owners of that property with the condos. You have some rules and restrictions with the condos. You won't have that with a single family resident because that'll be your own property that you can deal with. Less maintenance, sure. There's less maintenance in a condo association than there is at a single family property. Usually lower prices for the condos than the single family homes. So the pre-approval letter is very important. So the pre-approval is important. So that way we know the difference. When I talk to you and we go through that, we will specifically detail the pre-approval to the single family home, if that's what you desire, or a condo, if that's what you desire. So the 3 takeaways for me are those things. Privacy, if you want that, and take a look at those things. So thank you all for joining. Marissa?
Yeah, and then Marissa, like the 3 takeaways that you have. I know we have 3 of them listed on there, but anything that anyone can take away in regards to this topic and you as a realtor could give advice on.
Yes. Why is it important to have a realtor? While it's important to have a realtor, it's important to have a realtor who cares, right? So you want somebody who's going to listen to you, who's going to consider what you would want in a property, whether it's a condominium or a single family home, and who's going to go to the ends in order to see as many properties as it takes, make sure that everyone has their ducks in a row, including those homeowners association, to get what you need done, and make sure that if there's any discrepancies or if there's any issues that they get addressed prior to placing an offer, going through with the deal. Also, as far as it being easier to sell a condo or a single family home, I would say it ranges. There is dependent upon several factors and categories. It could be easier for some, depending on what that buyer wants. As far as selling a condo, we do have, typically less space. There's a little bit of less privacy in some situations, but if that's exactly what you're looking for, then you have it set in stone there. So I would say that one is very dependent upon the factors that are being contributed. We have a warrantable condo. That would be considered the government mortgages that are offered, including Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, and VA loans, and they are under stricter guidelines. But there are also the non-warrantable condos, which is your typical where they are not under as strict of guidelines. There's a lot of research that can be done, but as a real estate agent, I am available to make sure that if there's something that I don't know, I do my research to make sure that I present it to you in a good enough way. So I think that having a realtor is definitely one of the most important factors to consider when doing this. You don't want to do it alone, to have somebody there every step of the way with you throughout the entire process, and making sure that everything has been connected is super important.
Thank you, Marissa, for all of that. So takeaway from all this, guys, is, you know, get your pre-approval letter, have that checklist of what you want in a house, what you want in a condo. Weigh those out, have a conversation with yourself, have a conversation with your realtor on what's important to you. And then, you know, come together and have that conversation with Jim and your loan officer. You know, what does that payment look like? Does it make sense for me financially? Does it make sense for me long-term? So thank you, Tom, Jim, and Marissa, for your time and your knowledge today. All three of them will be reaching out to everyone who registered on the call today as a follow-up. So please look out for their email. Would love to help anyone with any questions and a pre-approval and searching for a house down the road. So thank you, everyone, for your time and energy today. Have a great day.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Goodbye.